You fall asleep exhausted. Then suddenly your eyes open. You look at the clock, 3:07 a.m. You roll over and try to sleep. But your brain is suddenly wide awake. And the strange part? It happens again tomorrow night. And the night after that. If you keep waking up between 3 and 5 a.m., don't automatically assume something is seriously wrong. There are several surprisingly common reasons this happens, and one of them could be disrupting your sleep without you even realizing it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. First, let's clear up one important misconception. Waking up during the night isn't automatically abnormal. Your brain naturally moves through different stages of sleep throughout the night, and brief awakenings can happen without you even remembering them. The problem is when you wake up frequently, stay awake for a long time, or consistently feel exhausted the next day. So why does it sometimes feel like your body wakes you up at almost exactly the same time every night? The answer may be much simpler than you think. As the night progresses, your sleep architecture changes. Earlier in the night, you generally spend more time in deeper sleep. Later in the night, you spend more time in lighter sleep and REM sleep. That means small disturbances can wake you more easily during the early morning hours. A little noise, a change in temperature, the need to use the bathroom, or even a random thought can be enough to bring you out of sleep. So if you wake up at 3 or 4 a.m., it doesn't automatically mean your body is sending you a mysterious warning. Sometimes you're simply waking during a naturally lighter part of your sleep. But there's another factor that can make this much worse, and it happens inside your mind. Have you ever gone to bed completely exhausted after a stressful day, expecting to sleep like a rock, only to wake up at 3 a.m. with your brain running at full speed? Suddenly you're thinking about work, money, family, tomorrow's responsibilities, or something that happened earlier that day. Stress and anxiety can make it harder to stay asleep, and then a frustrating cycle begins. You wake up, you notice you're awake, and then you start worrying about how little sleep you're going to get. You look at the clock and think, I only have a few hours left. That thought creates more stress, which makes falling asleep even harder. So if this sounds familiar, there's one small thing you should stop doing when you wake up at night. The first thing many people do when they wake up is reach for their phone and check the time. It seems harmless, but it can turn a brief awakening into a stressful event. You see 3:12 a.m. and immediately start calculating how many hours are left before your alarm. Then you check again. It's 3:28. Now you're thinking about tomorrow morning. Your brain becomes focused on sleep instead of actually sleeping. And if you start scrolling through social media, checking messages or watching videos, you've given your brain even more stimulation. If you wake up during the night, keep the room dark, avoid your phone, and try not to turn the clock into something you have to fight against. But if you're doing everything right and still waking up around the same time, take a closer look at what you're doing before bed. You might think caffeine only matters if you drink coffee right before going to bed. But caffeine can remain in your system for hours, and people vary in how strongly they respond to it. That afternoon coffee that feels completely harmless could be affecting your sleep. Later that night, alcohol can be tricky too. It may make you feel sleepy at first, but it can disrupt sleep later in the night. So look at your entire evening routine. When was your last coffee? Did you drink alcohol? Did you eat a very heavy meal right before bed? Did you spend hours on your phone? Sometimes the reason you're waking up at 3 a.m. isn't hidden inside your body at all. It's hidden inside your routine. But there's another nighttime wake-up that you shouldn't simply ignore. If you regularly wake up because you need to urinate, you're not alone. Drinking a lot of fluids close to bedtime can obviously contribute. But frequent nighttime urination can also be associated with certain medications and health conditions. One occasional bathroom trip isn't necessarily a problem, but if you're getting up multiple times every night, especially if this is new or becoming more frequent, it's worth discussing with a healthcare professional, because sometimes the bathroom trip isn't the real problem. The important question is why your body keeps waking you up to go. Now we get to a reason that many people don't realize could be affecting their sleep. Imagine waking up several times during the night, but barely remembering it the next morning. Sleep apnea can cause repeated interruptions in breathing while you're asleep, which may lead to brief awakenings. Some warning signs include loud snoring, gasping or choking during sleep, waking with a dry mouth, morning headaches, and significant daytime sleepiness. And here's what's important. You don't always have to remember waking up for your sleep to be disrupted. If a partner tells you that you snore loudly, gasp, or appear to stop breathing during sleep, don't simply brush it off. Talk with a healthcare professional about whether you should be evaluated for sleep apnea, because sometimes the problem isn't that you're waking up. It's that something is repeatedly waking your body up. Now let's look at something surprisingly simple, your sleep environment. Is your room too warm? Is there outside traffic around 3 a.m.? Is light coming through your curtains? Is your air conditioner turning on or off? Is your partner moving around? Is your phone lighting up with notifications? Even small disturbances can wake you during lighter stages of sleep, and you may not consciously realize what woke you. So if you keep waking up around the same time, pay attention to what is happening around you during that period. Sometimes solving the mystery doesn't require a supplement, medication, or complicated sleep hack. It requires changing what's happening around you. Now let's address something you've probably seen online. You may have heard that waking up at 3 a.m. means a specific organ is failing, that your liver is detoxing, or that your cortisol is suddenly dangerously high. Be careful with those claims. There isn't one universal, medical meaning behind waking up at 3 a.m. Your sleep is influenced by your sleep stages, stress, daily habits, environment, medications, age, and many different health factors. So don't panic just because you wake up at 3 a.m. Instead, look for the pattern, because the pattern tells you much more than the clock. If this happens to you regularly, start with a few simple changes. Keep your wake-up time consistent even on weekends. If caffeine seems to affect your sleep, avoid it later in the day. Limit alcohol close to bedtime. Keep your bedroom dark, quiet, and comfortably cool. And if you wake up during the night, avoid turning on bright lights or immediately reaching for your phone. Most importantly, don't start fighting with yourself about being awake. Take a few slow breaths, stay relaxed, and give your body an opportunity to become sleepy again. Remember, your goal isn't to force yourself to sleep. Sometimes trying too hard is exactly what keeps your brain awake. Occasional nighttime waking is common, but if you're waking up frequently for weeks or months, spending long periods awake during the night, or feeling exhausted and unable to function normally during the day, it's worth talking with a healthcare professional. And if you have symptoms such as loud snoring, gasping or choking during sleep, pauses in breathing, severe daytime sleepiness, frequent nighttime urination, pain, or other concerning symptoms, don't simply assume it's normal. Persistent sleep disruption can have many possible causes, and getting the right cause identified is more useful than guessing from the time on your clock. So, the next time you suddenly open your eyes and see 3 a.m., don't immediately think, something is wrong with me. Ask a better question. What changed? Was it stress, caffeine, alcohol, your sleep environment, a bathroom trip? Or could something be repeatedly disturbing your sleep without you realizing it? Because the clock can tell you when you're waking up, but the pattern can give you clues about why. And if you keep waking up between 3 and 5 a.m., don't panic. Start by looking for the pattern, make a few simple changes, and pay attention to what your body is telling you.